Eddie gets us set for Cayo and Garcia as Telis Asamenos is set as the referee for 10 rounds of action.
You have received instructions in the dressing rooms. Obey my commands at all times. Protect yourselves at all times. Shake hands. Good luck and God bless.
Teddy, you're shadow boxing in the humid South Florida night here. You could use a corner man yourself, I'm sure.
Yeah, you know, you want to tell me down a little bit?
I mean, that's, you are working over there. Honestly.
You want to spritz me?
You put in about a round over there.
That's what these trainers do nowadays. We never had spritz.
No.
You know, when I was around, we never had spritz. But they spritz you with those you know, bottles that they spray you. I'd like to get spritz right now.
Cayo trying to go to the body with those long arms Teddy described. Garcia trying to close in.
You know, look, what was the concept I'm talking about? Heat, right? The heat of the environment, the temperature here, and the heat that obviously Garcia brings with his straight-ahead style, always coming forward. And what's the best way? You know, if you don't like the heat, what do they say, Joe? Stay out of the kitchen. Get out of the kitchen. Oh, for Cayo, if you can't stand the heat, stay off the ropes. And that is the key in a nutshell for Cayo to have a chance here tonight. Keep that backside off the ropes. Before he gets closer than a foot, get off him.
There he is closing that space right there. Thrown off a combination, and then Cayo goes out the side door.
See, this is where instincts come in, where eyes in the back of your head come in for Cayo. He's been in that ring a long time. You know, he's been around 8 years. He has to know when he's near those ropes. He has to feel that. He has to know his environment. You hear about that in baseball, football, basketball. You got to know the court. You got to know the baseball field. You have to know the parameters, what's around you. Cayo tonight needs to know when he's near those ropes and get away from them. And the heat will only increase with Garcia. You know, he takes a little while to warm up. You know, he's like most of these guys that get their engine going. You know, they're speeding on the highway, but it takes some suburban driving, some urban drive, you know, a little bit of back road driving to get the engine really revved up, to get the RPMs really going. And Garcia's no different. You know, before he gets on that highway, he takes the back roads. And it takes him 2 or 3 rounds really to get to that place, that speed place. And you can see it. And those are the rounds that Cayo has to put in the bag. Because there's going to be late rounds if he can survive. And there's an if there. There's going to be late rounds that he's not going to put in the bag.
There's that gap closed again by Garcia. See if he lets loose of it. 3-punch combination, but he didn't get that left hand to the body and clean.
No, and that's the key for Garcia. Not just to apply pressure, but effective pressure. And for Garcia, how is effective pressure spelled? B-O-D-Y. Body.
Remember, you can go to the Friday Night Fight Facebook page and score along in the first fight of the night. You, the fans at home, had it the other way. We had a split decision win for Jonathan Gonzalez. Facebook fans favored Medina. What about this fight? Join in the conversation on Facebook and score along. Flamingo Stakes back in 1979.
You know, Joe, Cayo, all 4 losses by knockout. So that would suggest to most people that, hey, his chin might have a little bit of china, a little bit of glass in there. But no, his chin doesn't have glass. He's got a decent chin, Cayo. His problem in all 4 of his losses, all by knockout, he gets broken down by bigger, aggressive, strong guys. Those are the guys that get the KO on their record against Cayo. And Garcia, well, the bad news for Cayo, Garcia is one of those guys.
Falls in line with the list of Maidana Peterson, Nate Campbell, Emmanuel Taylor.
All guys that bring pressure, they have physical strength, and they break you down. They disintegrate you a little bit. You know, it's kind of like, I say it quite often, it's like looking at a little puddle of water on a very scorching hot day in the summer, and you watch it evaporate right in front of your eyes. That's what the strong guys do to Cayo. They evaporate him. And if Cayo doesn't stay off those ropes, well, he will become vapor. Garcia has been on the floor and he has come off the floor to win. And look for Garcia. I haven't seen it yet, but watch him on the inside with his left forearm, Joe. It's a little...
There it is.
There it is.
Right on cue.
Right on cue.
Pushing off with the left forearm.
Because he'll get in close. That's a signature move for him. It's not legal.
What was he listening into the broadcast?
Yeah, I think he was listening in a little bit. He was close to me. But that is a signature move by him. And there it is again. And he's smart enough to do it when the referee isn't on that side. See, he makes sure the referee's on his right side, not his left side, and he gets away with it. He takes that left forearm and he shoves you. You know, like a running back in football.
Well, when we did his fight back in February, he was penalized a point in the 8th round against Roberto Gonzalez for doing that very move.
Exactly. And he, obviously, that penalization of that point has not deterred him from using that move because it works for him. He gets inside, he shoves you with the left forearm, he gets you off balance a little bit, he gets a little bit of room to land the left hook. That's what he's doing it for. I mean, there is a method to his madness. And again, he's not that mad. He does it only when the referee's on his right side. And he's always coming forward. He's not doing a great job right now, Garcia, cutting the ring down. You know, following him, Cayo, a little bit, but he's coming forward. And this pressure will wear down Cayo.
Got around that left guard that time.
Take a look right here at what Garcia does. There it is. He shoves you. Take another look right here. Gets in close. He wants a little room. Raises that left forearm. Shoves Cayo off balance a little bit. That time he shoved a little too hard. If you shove too hard, you got to have a feel for that. You have to have a touch for that. You know, if you shove too hard, the guy goes back too far, and you can't do what you want to do. You can't punch.
Second main event on Friday Night Fights of the year so far for Roberto Garcia. Is looking to keep that career momentum going. Had a split decision win over Roberto Garcia back on Friday Night Fights in Chicago, February 7th. That was a short notice fight. He said he took a big risk. He was 171 pounds, had 12 days to the fight, got down to 154.
Now here's some good work by Cayo. This is what he's got to do. Those long arms, a little separation, take advantage of those moments. Extend those punches. And take advantage of Garcia where he blocks everything. Where you can run punches on him, handcuff him a little bit. While he's blocking, you can keep him busy and you can get combinations off. You know, he's not moving his head, he's blocking, so he's right in front of you. And you can move punches on him a little bit. And that's what Cayo's doing. And now he's moving his legs a little bit to keep Garcia from closing that gap, Joe. Cayo fights in spots. And Cayo can be explosive in spots. And Cayo has a lot of heart.
There's a combination from Cayo that scores.
Yeah, again, when they're separated, you got those long arms. Extend them. Get them out in front of you. And that's what he does. And do it when Garcia is stagnant. When Garcia is standing out in front of you blocking. Keep him blocking. Keep him moving those hands to block. But don't let him close the gap to punch. See, I like a guy to move his head, Joe. You know why? Because when you move your head, you make a guy miss. You create an opening. You create a vacuum. You know, a spot where there's a guy's punch disappears, misses, and now he's worried something's going to come back. And if he's worried something's going to come back because you made a miss, he can't put punches together on you. But when you're blocking punches, well, he can control you a little bit. But when he's missing a punch, he's got to really worry about defense. He can't go crazy with his offense.
Well, of the defensive tactics, it's the one defensive tactic in boxing that creates offense for you.
That's true. Again, when you're blocking all those punches, your opponent, he has a little bit of a feel of safety. He says, okay, I keep him busy, there's nothing coming back, and I can control when it's coming back. But when you miss a punch, when you throw something and there's nothing there, you start to have that dreadful feeling. Something might come right back at me. I better get the heck out of here.
Garcia coming in again. End of 3 here from Hialeah.
And see the payoff here. When a guy's blocking, as Garcia is, the payoff is the last punch. You can get a left hook in, and that's what Cayo does right there. He put a couple punches before that. Got Garcia in the position.
Start to this fourth round as Cayo boxing his way, and now Garcia tries to close in. Head came in between punches that time.
Yeah, one of the things Garcia has to worry about, you just said it, the head. He's been cut over his right eye five fights ago.
Right?
He's been involved. He has a no decision from a head clash. He's been involved with head clashes. That is a concern.
Listen, I don't want you to hold, okay? Let's go.
Warning from the referee, Teles Asamenos.
You know, we haven't seen it yet, but if Cayo needs to pull something out of the hat, you know, he gets into those desperate waters a little bit, and he has to go to something special. He can turn southpaw, and when he turns southpaw, and he just did.
There he is.
And now he goes back.
Orthodox.
But that was the first glimpse of it. When there's a little separation, if he feels he needs it, he'll turn southpaw on you. And that right hook from the southpaw can be very effective. Because he had an opponent in front of him looking at an orthodox fighter, not expecting anything from that angle. All of a sudden, he's got a southpaw in front of him, and a right hook, a good right hook, can come from somewhere it hasn't been coming from. And the orthodox
fighter... blood now coming from the right eye. There's a bad cut above the right eye of Cayo.
Yeah, you wonder whether or not it was from a head when they were in there close.
Stop! I don't want to keep pushing anymore. You understand that? Let's go. Stop.
Yeah, that's dripping now. That the corner of that right eye. Now the corner, the cut man for Cayo, who I don't have on my sheet right now, but he's going to be busy. Pancho Rodriguez, the man who will have to stem the bleeding that just sprinkled over me and Joe. The bleeding in the corner of the right eye of Cayo.
Garcia comes in with multiple shots to that belt line, now goes back to the jab. Blood streaming down the right side of the face of Victor Cayo. Reminder that on Saturday, May 10th, it's the WBC heavyweight title fight. Berman Stavern going up against a re-energized. That was a great visit you had with Chris Arreola, Teddy. Interesting to hear him reflect on the recent phase of his career and a chance for redemption coming up on May 10th.
You know, Garcia...
Okay, last warning. This is last warning. If you push one more time, I'm going to take a point away. End of the story.
The referee saw it.
Last warning.
Remember, he had a point taken away back in February.
Yeah, the referee is aware. I think the referee did some studying of Garcia. He knows what Garcia is about. He knows that trick. And even though Garcia is trying to hide it when the referee's on the wrong side, the referee got a little peek at it, and he's taking charge. He's not allowing Garcia to give that shove that he wants to give to the smaller guy. You know, Garcia came in, Joe, tonight, the lightest weight. I mean, it's almost like, wow. It's the lightest weight he's been in over 8 years. Coming in under the welterweight limit tonight, 160, 146 and a quarter. And Cayo, the opposite. He comes in the heaviest of his career. You know, it's strange. To me, something dramatic has to happen here. Garcia comes in the lightest in more than, as I said, 8 years. Cayo comes in the heaviest he's ever been in his career. So you wonder, either Garcia rolls over him in this later part of the fight, or maybe he's weakened. Maybe he came in too light. Maybe he's weakened by the weight loss, because one of the big advantages he had was what? He's bigger and stronger. maybe that's taken away from him, and maybe Cayo winds up being a little stronger.
Swore to us that he felt great when we met with him yesterday. He said, I used to have problems making weight. I used to just sweat it off. Now I realize it's all about nutrition, eating right. He said, I've studied it all, and I'm just naturally in better shape now, and the weight comes off easy.
I'm going to pick a number.
Yep.
I'm going to pick a number 6. 6 is the number. Set the number at 6. I'm thinking Garcia's looking to get Cayo out of here in 6. That the pressure will mount up to a boiling point where he can break down Cayo right around that number. And that's the way you break him down. Big body shots and a little cooperation from Cayo, slowing down, not using the legs as much, and allowing Garcia to get into those close positions, into those trenches. And again, on the ropes, bad plays for Cayo. And look for that right hand, as we talked about in a fight plan on those ropes. Downstairs and then upstairs with that right hand.
Joe Tessitore and Teddy Atlas with you ringside here, a Thursday edition of Friday Night Fights from Hialeah Park here in Miami. You can see them tending to that right eye, a bad cut that opened up in the 4th round. Victor Cayo and Roberto Garcia has been getting after him now. Garcia, the 13-year pro, second main event of the year on Friday Night Fights, trying to keep momentum going. Cayo's been knocked out 4 times in his career, 3 of them the current or former belt holders. Round number 6, scheduled for 10. See Cayo complaining of the head getting in the mix. There's a right hand splitting the guard from Garcia. Tried to dig to the body, did Cayo. More pressure from Garcia. Just missed with that uppercut. There's a right hand that snuck in from Cayo, but he's trying to stay away from danger here. Get away from those ropes.
Yeah, pressure busts pipes. And you're seeing pressure of Garcia starting to bust Cayo a little bit.
Garcia 49-46 on Teddy's scorecard.
So that's the right hand upstairs. On the ropes here, like we talked on the fight plan. Obviously downstairs. Put a little water in that basement if you're Garcia. But then look for the spot upstairs with the right hand where Cayo will throw something, using a left hook to keep you off, but doesn't always cover fast with it.
Saw the Facebook fans have it 4 rounds to zip for Garcia because we had a dead even round on Facebook voting. That's the first time that's ever happened in our years of using the Facebook voting on the Friday Night Fight page. An even round.
Been talking about size. Let me put it into more perspective, into numbers for you. How much bigger Garcia has been. He's been between a junior middleweight and a welterweight his whole career. Well, Cayo turned pro at featherweight. That's a smaller man in front of Garcia. Cayo turned pro at 126. His career has been mostly a junior welter. But tonight, again, Garcia does come in the lightest in over 8 years. Does he still have the strength? The rounds are going to tell.
Big left hand from Garcia.
Yeah, looked like he had the strength there.
And a right comes in. Now he goes to the body. Back up top with a right hand and a left. And this fight is over. Teddy, you called it. 6th round TKO, Roberto Garcia. Pressure does indeed bust pipes. Cayo busted up.
Okay. Sit down. Thank you, Louis, for believing in me. That was a sparring session.
Not that it matters now, but the most important thing is that Cayo's being attended to by the ringside physicians and making sure that he's all right. But not that it matters now, but we had on our replay that we saw that cut was caused by a headbutt. You know, everyone makes a mistake. The referee does a good job here, but did not see. And it didn't come to matter. So at the end, it doesn't really matter. But the referee did not see what we saw. We have the benefit of replay. We saw that cut in the corner of the eye of Cayo was caused by a headbutt.
All 5 of his career losses now by Cayo. Here it is.
Oh, the old-fashioned way. Move the guy, what we say on the fight plan. Move him to the ropes, then go upstairs with the right hand. He went upstairs with the right hand. Followed with a left hook. Take a look again. Move him to the ropes, downstairs, upstairs with the right hand. There was the right hand. It snuck through. And then the referee, well, a lot of people at home are going to say it was a quick stoppage. There's the right hand, placed well behind the glove where the opening was to the side of Cayo's head. Some people are going to say that was a quick stoppage, Teddy, but the referee's job is to look at the overall body of work. He's looking at the whole scenario, the whole package, and he sees Cayo taking a lot of punishment. He sees Garcia coming on. He sees Cayo hurt with a lot of time left, and he does what he thinks is the right thing.
For the official particulars, here's Thomas.
Ladies and gentlemen, here is the official time. 2 minutes, 38 seconds of round number 6. Our referee in charge, Telis Asimenios, steps in, stops the contest. Your winner by way of technical knockout, Roberto La Amenaza Garcia.
By the way, Teddy wasn't the only one to predict a 6-round TKO tonight. Garcia's camp did as well. Wow, they had the double here at the racetrack.
I think I should go with them tomorrow and play some lottery.
More live fight action when we return to South Florida. Stay with us. Boxing ahead.